So about 4 years ago, I actually installed a second battery into my vehicle to give my subs and my starter a little bit more power. For 4 years, it worked absolutely great, or at least I thought it worked great. So I'm going to share with you a crucial step that I did not take that probably costed me my amplifier. Alright, so to properly install a second battery into your vehicle, we're going to run over a couple of the materials that you're going to need, and these are not things that you can skimp on. First thing you're going to need is obviously a second battery. Now, I always recommend to make sure it is an identical battery. Second thing is you're going to need some ground wire, and for both the ground wire and the positive wire, I suggest doing at least 4 gauge. If you've hooked up a car amplifier and ran it, all the way back to the trunk, then it's pretty much the same exact thing. We're going to be using blue for ground and red for positive. So you do need, I would say, about 2 feet of ground wire for your secondary battery, because the ground is going to be on the chassis somewhere kind of near the battery. The next couple things you're going to need is a very long amount of, again, 4 gauge wire for the power. And this is going to bridge one amplifier to the next. Now, one of the most important things is very close to each end of the wire, you need a fuse at both ends. If not, you will definitely, it's a fire waiting to happen. I've seen videos where people have shown how to do this and they don't fuse the wire. Don't do that. So that's going to be 2 fuses to hook up the secondary battery. You're going to need a 3rd fuse if you're hooking up an amplifier. So the other thing that you're really going to want to do is you're going to want to secure your second battery, so you're going to want to get some tie downs. All of these are very, very easy to find and very readily available. I get most of my stuff at Walmart. And then another thing you're going to need are 4 of these terminals, which are removable and you can actually interchange them. Basically, all you have to do is cut the wires, go into your old one, and then these have a little clamp that will actually clamp them in there. And I have top post and side post just to demonstrate both types. And they do have the removable, the interchangeable terminals for the side post as well. And again, what this is going to allow you to do is this is going to allow you to hook up multiple wires into each terminal, and that's kind of what we need to do here. So we've got our ground coming from our existing battery in our vehicle. We won't really have to mess with that because basically this one will have its own ground, which is the chassis of the car. So let's go ahead and hook our secondary battery up. And then we will use this little screw to kind of represent the chassis of our car and connect these two. Not a very big car, but it'll work. So there, we have our grounds. Now, you want to run your power wire, and if you're unsure of how to do this, go ahead and check out the video up in the top corner. There, I show you how to actually run an amplifier, or mainly the power wire, through your vehicle. All right, so now this is our existing ground. Let's just say that this was our existing power coming in. There's going to be more than one, probably 2 or 3. So let's, for the sake of demonstration, hook that up. All right, so now you take the lead from one of your powers over here to your positive. So now we have our power coming in, our ground coming in, and we have our ground over on our other one, which is connected through the chassis. Now you take the other side, and basically all we do is just connect it into this one. So basically all that's happening is we are connecting our negative from one battery straight up to the negative on the other battery via the chassis, and then we bridge the 2 positives with a wire that is going to be able to carry enough current, and we fuse it on both ends. So basically you're just connecting negative to negative, positive to positive. But now, if you're using an RV situation or something like that where you're going to be using power after the vehicle is off, you're going to want to put an isolator dead smack in the middle of this power wire. We don't need that because I don't plan on using anything after the car is off. This is just for audio and, like I said, extra cranking power. Winter's coming up. And then now if we have an amplifier, from there you just hook on your secondary battery just like you would normally. Have a lead going off for your ground, or for your amplifier have a ground right there going to the chassis, and then have your power. You have to have a fuse on that going to your amplifier. It's pretty much that simple, and it really, really does help a lot. So now let's go into where I made the mistake. And there's one thing actually in the materials that you need that I did not mention, I guess to build suspense. But so basically the problem that I had was I took this battery out. Well, no, excuse me. I actually took my amplifier out. I was planning on doing something with it. I was going to do a project with the Taurus. And I picked it up and I noticed that it had a lot of corrosion on it. And so I didn't really think of what it was at first. I couldn't really, tell. But as I looked at it, it looked like battery corrosion. So I got to thinking and got my light out. I looked up here. Turned out that this is the original secondary battery that was in, my vehicle. So what happened was this was apparently just gushing acid out. And I actually found where it had kind of dripped down and kind of puddled up, which was right where my amplifier was. And I found it by using some of this NOCO battery cleaner, which actually has an acid detector in it. When you spray it, it's like yellowish orange, and it turns pink as soon as it comes in contact with acid. So I sprayed it and figured out that's what it was. And the one way that I could have actually completely avoided that is by just having a battery tray. I mean, they're really cheap. They're probably as cheap as one of the terminals are, and it would have saved me all that. It's a really good thing that I actually caught it at the time, but judging by my amp, the way it looks, I really don't know. So I guess the next step from here is I'm going to go ahead and open up the amplifier and see if it actually did mess anything up. I do have plans for that amplifier, and I love that amplifier. Okay, so I kind of want to hurry up and actually see what the damage is on this. Yeah, so I'm kind of hoping we could see a lot of it right there. I'm kind of hoping it hasn't penetrated its way into the circuit board. So yeah, let's go ahead, grab a screwdriver, and I think it's just these 4 screws right here. Cool. And we can remove this bottom plate and we can actually see what's going on. Okay. Oh, might have gotten very, very lucky. So I'll try to get that to zoom. That's the inside. That's the other side. But check this out. Yep, oh cool. Circuit board is okay. So that's pretty good. Do a little flyby of the amp guts. I'm not even gonna lie. I am so in love with this little amplifier. I cannot suggest this amplifier enough. Walmart, cheap, I can't remember how much it was. I think it wasn't much over $100. Runs under an ohm, and it does 1,000 watts all day long. But yeah, it definitely looks like we dodged a bullet there. That's just kind of on the heat sink part. Yeah, no, we're good. So yeah. All right, yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead, and since there's no actual, actually let me move this over here. Since there's no actual damage to the circuit board, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this up with the NOCO I was talking about. See what this does. Oh, it turns instantly. Yep. See, this could have been pretty bad. Now that I just got that all over the bench, I'm gonna have to go find something to actually wipe this with. This might take something a little bit more than this. Yeah, look at it, just whatever type of anodized coating or whatever is on this plate, it just ate it completely away. Honestly, I'm probably going to take some battery terminal protector or something, paint something, and probably try to cover that up as good as I can. But that actually kind of took it off, just with a towel. and the NOCO, so that's pretty cool. Go in a little, we're all the way in, okay. Oh, that sucks. Alright, so this I kind of don't really want to spray it right on there. I might just kind of do something like that. Let that kind of chooch for a second, then go back at it with this. Yeah, because I don't really want to get any of that NOCO down there onto the circuit board. So I'm just going to kind of let that chooch. I should probably do something about that too. Literally what I'm doing is just taking it and putting it on a screwdriver. Yeah, just kind of let that chooch. It's actually taking off some of the paint. Well, I guess that's a little bit better. But yeah, we really dodged a bullet there. Go ahead and pop these 4 screws back in. And I'm just very happy that this thing isn't ruined. It's going into the Taurus. That is a real relief. So looks like all systems go for the Taurus. Got something really crazy coming up for the Taurus actually. But if you're interested in seeing anything else that I've already done on the Taurus or any of my other builds, check out some of my playlists and actually check out this video up here. It's a good one. But that's it for now. Any questions, go ahead, put them down in the comments. Kind of the platform is subscribe, ask questions, and I will answer all of them. I really appreciate you guys watching, and thank you so much, and have a good one. We'll see you in the next one.